The truck doesn't have a load here, but we'll start off in first gear anyway. Shift to third, and then on to fourth. However, if the slope had been a little steeper or the surface a little more slippery, crawler gear would have been necessary. It's marked with a big C. A full gear up to second. Pre-select the splitter to second high. A full gear up to third. Pre-select high range and fourth gear. A full gear up to fifth. Road speed is building up. It's time to use the exhaust brake. Shift down a gear to put the exhaust brake in the blue sector. It's very important to use the exhaust brake, even on a construction site truck. It really does save the wheel brakes. Pre-select the splitter up to fifth high. In a long descent, there's no point in first shifting down half a gear when you know you're going to have to make more downshifts. Instead, it's far better to make a full shift down. And as you can see here, it really is necessary. Now we're coming to the end of the descent, and it's time to prepare for half an upward shift. Up with the splitter button and ease off. Engine speed feels right. Half a gear up. The engine still hasn't run out of steam. Pre-select the splitter and shift from fourth high to fifth low. Once on the open road, the splitter comes into use most often in the high range. It's also useful in low range, however, for instance, to adjust road speed. One basic rule to follow is to try and keep the needle in the green sector the whole time. When extra power is needed, the needle sweeps beyond, but when the road evens out, as now, try to keep to the lower part of the green sector. But in tough construction site operations, or on a steep hill, engine speed naturally rises, and you squeeze the most you can out of the engine for a short period. It actually saves fuel. This engine offers wonderful lugging power, and don't feel afraid of testing its limits. It'll stand up to far tougher treatment than you'd think possible. And when you come to terms with its immense abilities, you'll see that you won't often have to use those higher engine speeds I was mentioning a little while back. On a long descent like this one, it's extremely important to use the exhaust brakes. Otherwise, your truck will simply race away. And here we've got to the bottom of the hill without even touching the foot brake once. The fact is that on a work site like this one, if you drive hard without using the exhaust brake, you'll build up an immensely high temperature in the brakes, resulting in brake fade. And here, as we approach the steep incline and the road is slippery with frost buildup, this is the time to use the air dump. This increases bogie pressure. Here, there's absolutely no point in trying to shift half a gear. A whole gear is necessary. And here at the brow of the hill, we can return to normal pressure on the auxiliary axle. If the road surface is slippery, or if you risk skidding, declutch and engage the differential lock. You should never be afraid to use the differential lock. The main thing to remember is never to engage it while the wheels are spinning. The truck should either be at a complete standstill, or you should use the clutch pedal every time you engage the differential lock. The most important rule when driving on poor road surfaces is to try and keep the truck on the move the whole time. Before you ever get to a difficult patch, you should already have pressed the clutch pedal and engaged the differential lock between the axles. If you're driving a 6x6, begin by engaging drive to the front axle. Then activate the differential lock between the axles. If the terrain is really difficult to negotiate, you should also activate the differential lock between the wheels. Remember the golden rule: never let any wheel spin for more than 10 seconds.